All right, everybody, I'm gonna make a quick video. I need to get the rifle ready to go shooting. I use this rifle for testing our Solus Action sockets. So it sits a lot like this so that I can check every single one to make sure they all fit nicely. But it also needs to get used. So I figured I'd just make a quick video. Obviously, I was not fully prepared to do this, but if I'm gonna go through all the steps, we might as well learn together, right? So just a few simple things. Obviously, we've got our action, we've got our barrel mounted in our barrel vise here, and then we have our Aero Solus Rokin Precision made action socket. So this goes onto a standard 3/8. This is suboptimal. My actual testing 3/8 extension is in the house, but this still works fine. This is larger than your 3/8 extension coupling point, so it doesn't touch anything in there. And then this is actually a 3/8 to a 1/2 inch, so that goes right to my torque wrench, which we also have. And then finally, we have our go gauge. All right, so real quick, before you get started, make sure that you put nickel-based anti-seize on here, right? This little tube here, we got one in the package. Permatex, they make everything, right? But nickel-based anti-seize, because we want to put our barrel on, but then we're also going to want to take it off at some point. Whether that's changing calibers or whether that's because you just shot it way too much and it's getting a little inaccurate. So once you have that on there, pretty easy. We're just going to awkwardly twist this on as quickly as we can. Simple, right? Next, we're going to take our socket, and this one I've tested a bunch of labeling on. This was for this was the very first one. Gonna get it slid in there. Got it all engaged in our lugs. We've got our torque wrench. It does not need to be a digital torque wrench. I do automotive, so this was a value add for me. Quickly going through this, also does angles. If you didn't know that was a thing, so when you're torquing something plus an angle, this actually picks it up. Very happy. This was my graduation from school present. 75 foot-pounds of torque. We're going to see if I tighten this barrel in the vise enough. Boom. Just like that. Okay, so pretty straightforward. This is something that really anyone can do, right? Now, this is all torqued on. So we can take our go gauge here. I forget who makes this one. Forster. So this is 6.5 Creedmoor. They make a few different styles of gauges, go, no go, field. And they have a description on their website as well as most of the retailers who sell them of why you would pick one gauge versus the other. But for what I'm doing, a go gauge will be just fine. So I'm gonna get my bolt in here. Everything closed. Whew, everything comes out. Now we have to get a new gauge. So we are good to go, which is what I expected. It's an Aero Precision pre-fit barrel with their action, and it's torque to spec. So I would be shocked if it was something else, but still a good thing to double check. So next up, let's get this put in the chassis. All right, so we've got our barreled action here. I used blue, like the shop towels, to protect it a little bit. The Cerakote looks fine. You know, it looks like something grabbed on there. It's a little bit shinier than the rest of it. I don't have any of the, what's it called? Like drywall tape paper that people recommend. So this is what I'm using. It works fine, but I should probably get some of that here in the future. Obviously this is obnoxiously high, but just to get it all in view, again, very straightforward. I put it up here because this is the best thing I have just to kind of hold it still. It's kind of awkward when you're doing this and it's laying down on some bench. The screws for this are like already captive inside here, so it's pretty convenient. To just kind of hold this in place. Now, one other thing that would be nice is if you have a longer Allen, just enough to clear the handle, the grip, because you have to like take it out and rotate it around because it'll hit that grip. So I'll probably get the front one started first, just because it's a little easier, because everything is out of the way and you can rotate it on the bottom. There we go. Let's get that started, and at least it'll kind of hold the back down so it's not tipping up. The barrel's so heavy, it just lifts that back tang up. Makes it a little bit harder to get started. And since you can only do it like, I don't know, 2/3 of a rotation, just makes it a little bit harder. But we'll get these all started by hand with this guy. And then it's easier, we can angle this to make it easier to get to torque it on. So let me grab the torque wrench and we'll get that going. All right, so we just twisted it a little bit at an angle here so it's easier to see. Obviously this is pretty much secure, so it's not gonna go anywhere. We've got our torque wrench here, 60 to 65 inch-pounds, so not a ton. Boom. So front and rear, get those torqued on. I need to go get a different sized extension, Allen key, because this is not deep enough in there. So I'm gonna get that, get it torqued. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Very simple, torquing your action onto your barrel, or your barrel into your action, and torquing your action onto your chassis, and you're ready to roll. So next up is gonna be scope, and some other accessories like the stock that's not on here. We took that off for testing for our new hinge that's coming out shortly. So real simple, real quick. Most people have these tools at home. Add a couple to your inventory and you're ready to roll building your new precision rifle.